Roman Reigns addresses Paul Heyman controversy. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, the man who has reigned over WWE with absolute dominance for over 3 years. But now, the kingdom he built may be facing its most personal test yet. Because when your greatest advisor starts acting like your greatest liability, what happens next can shake the very foundation of everything you've built. Today, we dive deep into the brewing controversy between Roman Reigns and the man who stood by his side through it all, Paul Heyman. What happened? What did Roman say? And what could this mean for the future of the Bloodline? It all began in 2020. Roman Reigns returned at SummerSlam with a new attitude, a new mission, and a shocking new ally, Paul Heyman. For years, Heyman had been synonymous with Brock Lesnar. But after Brock's absence and Roman's heel turn, Paul Heyman made the unthinkable move. He aligned himself with Reigns, forming what many would call the most powerful duo in modern WWE history. Heyman wasn't just a manager. He was the wise man, the voice behind the muscle, the man who crafted strategies, manipulated opponents, and helped Roman conquer WWE's biggest names: Daniel Bryan, Edge, Kevin Owens, John Cena, and yes, even Brock Lesnar himself. But alliances like this rarely last forever. In recent months, subtle cracks began to form in the Bloodline's armor. First, Sami Zayn's betrayal and the emotional implosion of the group. Then, the crumbling loyalty of the Usos. And more recently, the visible tension between Solo Sikoa and Heyman. But the biggest red flag: Roman's growing distance from the man who once whispered victory into his ear. There were fewer backstage strategy sessions, less interaction on screen, and more moments where Heyman seemed hesitant, worried, even scared. WWE fans noticed. Speculation ran wild. Was Roman losing trust in his wise man? And then came SmackDown, just weeks before WrestleMania 41. In a backstage segment that went viral across social media, Paul Heyman was caught, on a hot mic, speaking to Solo Sikoa in what seemed to be a private conversation. The audio was grainy, the camera angle wasn't clear, but the message crystal. Heyman was heard saying, "Roman doesn't need to know, not yet." That one line sparked chaos. What didn't Roman need to know? Was Heyman hiding something? Was there a plan unfolding behind the tribal chief's back? Twitter blew up. YouTube exploded with theory videos. And for the first time in years, Roman Reigns was at the center of a scandal that didn't involve a challenger, but his own inner circle. WWE fans waited. And Roman stayed silent until last night. On Friday Night SmackDown, live from Chicago, Roman Reigns made his way to the ring. No Usos, no Solo, no Paul Heyman, just the tribal chief, and a microphone. The arena was electric. Fans were on the edge of their seats. And then, Roman spoke. "For the last 3 years, I've carried this company on my back. I've crushed legends. I've smashed every challenger. And I did it with a team. A family. A bloodline. But lately, I've been watching, listening, and I've heard the whispers. The lies. The schemes. So let me make one thing very clear. I don't need Paul Heyman to be the tribal chief. I chose him. I brought him in. I gave him power. And now, it seems he's forgotten who he serves. Paul, we will talk. But not in the shadows. Not behind my back. You'll look me in the eye, and explain yourself. Tonight." Later that night, Roman sat in the ring, awaiting Heyman. The music hit. Paul Heyman walked out slowly, nervous, almost broken. He held a microphone, but stayed silent as he stood before Roman. And what followed was not an outburst. Not a shout, but cold, calculated fury. "You've been with me since day one of this reign. You've seen what happens when people betray me. Ask Sami. Ask Jimmy. You were supposed to be different. So tell me, Paul, what doesn't the tribal chief need to know?" Asterisk. Heyman stuttered, he fumbled, and finally responded. "My tribal chief, I was protecting you. Solo. He's becoming unpredictable. He's listening to outside voices. I didn't want to burden you before WrestleMania." The crowd gasped. Roman didn't blink. "Roman Reigns. You don't protect me. You serve me. And you never lie to me." A long pause. Then Roman handed his microphone to Solo. "Solo Sikoa, voiceover narration, I do what I need to do. For the family, Even if it means doing things you wouldn't approve of. With that, Solo walked away. Heyman followed, unsure, and Roman stood alone, processing the weight of betrayal. Social media erupted. Was this the end of Heyman and Roman Reigns? Is Solo Sikoa staging his own rise to power within the Bloodline? The fanbase is split. Some believe Heyman was genuinely trying to shield Roman from unnecessary stress before his WrestleMania match. Others think Heyman is playing both sides, maneuvering to align himself with whoever comes out on top in the Bloodline civil war. And then there's the wild theory that Heyman is orchestrating everything, a puppet master pulling strings for a future return of Brock Lesnar, or even a shocking alliance with Solo to form a new bloodline. With WrestleMania 41 approaching, Roman faces one of the biggest matches of his life. But this time, it's not just about the opponent in the ring, it's about the war within. The question now isn't just, can Roman Reigns retain his title? It's, can Roman Reigns trust anyone anymore? Will Paul Heyman try to repair the damage, or is he already plotting his next move? Will Solo strike first, and will Roman's empire crumble from the inside? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The tribal chief is watching. And when Roman Reigns watches, people acknowledge. What do you think is going on with Paul Heyman? Was he genuinely trying to protect Roman, or is this the beginning of a massive betrayal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, let's get the discussion going. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the world of WWE, and don't forget to acknowledge the algorithm. Until next time, stay legendary. WWE WrestleMania 41 Live. CM Punk, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in huge main event. WrestleMania 41, the grandest stage of them all. And this year, history is being written in bold, blood-red letters as three titans of modern-day wrestling step into the spotlight: CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. One ring, one main event, one legacy to define. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our full breakdown of WWE WrestleMania 41 Live, the most anticipated main event in years, where CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins clash in a colossal triple threat match that will shake the foundations of sports entertainment. The road to WrestleMania 41 has been turbulent, emotional, and full of jaw-dropping twists. It all began at the 2024 Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins, then the reigning World Heavyweight Champion, was on a dominant run. Roman Reigns, still holding tight to his tribal chief aura, was managing the fallout of losing the undisputed Universal title to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. And then, out of the smoke, out of the shadows, CM Punk returned. CM Punk made his WWE comeback in late 2023, and it sent shockwaves across the industry. The man who once walked out of the company in defiance was back, this time with one goal in mind: to finish what he started.